Hello, class. I just wanted to take a couple minutes as we're going into week 3 and just another housekeeping video. Just talk about a couple issues in our discussion board posts, just so we can tighten them up a little bit. Overall, I'm happy with the content that you've been producing, but there's just a couple issues that I think we can do a little better on. First is that I wanted to make a reminder that all discussion board the initial posts are due on Monday night every week, Monday night. If you don't post them on Monday night, one, there's a 10% penalty, so you're going to lose a letter grade merely by not posting. And second, you don't give your classmates a chance to respond to you and have that rich discussion that we're trying to get. You have valid opinions and valid perspectives. I'd like to see those perspectives commented on and seen by other classmates. If you don't post by Monday, then we don't have that opportunity. Secondly, the citations. I want to talk about, one, the need for citations. Every initial post must have a citation. And if you're not familiar with what that is, I've posted a lot of resources about citations, but we'll talk about it here. Whenever you give information in your papers, in all academic, all scholarly writing, your information must be supported by an academic source. It doesn't have to be supported by an academic source if it's something that is commonly known. So you can say in a post, the sky is blue. We all know the sky is blue. You don't need to support that. But if you do say something along the lines of, in our previous discussion, when I talked about this week's material, if you're going to say that there is no ethical mandate for you to put others above yourself, if you're going to write that in an academic paper or a discussion post, then you need to cite that source from the textbook or someplace else where you can find that, which means that you're going to say there's no mandate to put others above yourself, and then in parentheses, you would put where you found that, the author, and the year. If you're quoting it, you have to put the page number. And then at the bottom, because we're using APA format, at the bottom, you have to have a title of references. And under that, you're going to list in proper APA format where those references can be found. It'll include the author's last name, their first initial, the year, the title of the book or the article, things like that. So I've given you the formats, but every single time you do a post, an initial weekly post, there has to be at least one of them. Read the rubric that I posted, and that'll tell you exactly how to get full points. If you post one source, you're not going to get full points, because full points, according to that rubric, say you've used more than one source, multiple sources, if you want to get full credit for your posts. So the rubric will tell you exactly how to get full credit and an A in your posts. You just have to read it and see what's required. If you don't put citations, in the first week or two, I give a little leeway and give some grace on the grading. I don't give zeros for not using references, but there's progressively lower and lower scores for each time you don't do it. So going into the third week, if there are no citations used in the initial post, then you'll get a 0 for the citation portion of the rubric. Doesn't mean you'll get a 0 for the entire discussion board post, but you'll see that the rubric breaks up to 100 points into 30 points for your initial post, 30 points for your responses, 20 points for the clarity, the grammar, and 20 points for the references that you use. So if you don't use any references moving forward, then a perfect discussion board post, the highest it can get is an 80, because you'll have a 0 for the references. So let's not do that to ourselves. Just put a couple references in there, support what you're saying, and put it in a format that APA requires. And the last point I wanted to make, since I did just mention the clarity and the grammar, I know I've recommended in the past the software Grammarly. There are others out there. That's just the one that I use. We have to proofread our posts. If you're typing directly into Blackboard, it's very difficult to proofread. Typing into Word and then copying it over into Blackboard makes it a lot easier. And if you're not going to proofread, if you're going to not capitalize the word I or not capitalize your sentences, or use words that you would use when texting each other versus in a scholarly setting, then you're going to lose points. Grammarly or proofreading will fix those issues. I highly recommend doing one or both of those. It's going to improve your scores and improve your writing in general. I am a far better writer now than I was at the beginning of my academic career, merely by using and learning from the corrections that software like Grammarly made for me. There were things about grammar that I didn't know. I learned because it corrected it, and I thought, oh, okay, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. And it just made me a better writer. So I recommend it to each and every one of you. Either proofread or find something to a software to proofread for you and learn from your mistakes. That's how we grow as students and as people. Again, as I've said before, I look forward to reading this week's assignments. The discussion board this week should be really interesting, and I think it's going to have a great discussion. And some people have already posted it. It's Monday now. So if you haven't posted by tonight, again, there'll be a penalty. So please, let's avoid that. I want to see everybody's posts by tonight. All right. Thanks.